Okay, here we've been asked to find the equation of the line joining the points A43 and B611. So this is unlike anything we've seen before. We have substituted values into our equation y minus b equals m bracket x minus a, but we have always been given our gradient. Here, we're not given the gradient, so we need to calculate the gradient. And if we recall how to do that, we need to utilise the gradient formula. M equals y2 take away y1 over x2 take away x1. These all correspond to the coordinates at the top. Here's my first x coordinate, my first y coordinate, my second x coordinate, my second y coordinate. So I'm going to substitute these values in. M equals 11 take away 3 over 6 take away 4. So my gradient is going to be 8 over 2. If it's a fraction, you can have a value for it. 8 over 2, 8 divided by 2 is 4. So my gradient is 4. So now that I've got the gradient of 4, I now need just to choose which is going to be A and B. You can choose either set of coordinates. You can choose this set or this set. Generally, I would advise to try and choose the coordinate set that has the most positive values. Both of these are positive, so it doesn't really matter which we'll choose. For ease sake, I'm just going to choose this one. So this is going to be A. This is going to be B. This is going to be B. Okay, so I have M, I've got A and B. I can now substitute everything into my equation. So I've got y minus b. B is 3. My gradient is 4. And it's going to be x take away 4. I'm now going to just complete the process like I did in the last videos. Multiply out the bracket, so y minus 3 equals 4x minus 16. I want to have my equation in the form y equals mx plus c, so I want y equals itself on the left. So I want to get rid of this minus 3, so I'm going to add it to both sides. I'm going to have y equals 4x minus 13. The only difference from this question compared to others was I needed to calculate the gradient here. And I then used that gradient in my equation. I chose A and B to be 4 and 3 here. I could have chosen to be 6 and 11. I would have still got the same answer. Okay, here I've been asked to calculate or find the equation of the line joining the points C, which is minus 2, 5, and D, which is 4, minus 13. So I'm going to be using the formula. Y minus B equals M bracket X minus A. First thing to spot, we are not given the gradient, so we're going to need to calculate the gradient. So we'll just do this at the side. Gradient equals y2 take away y1 over x2 take away x1. So we're going to label our points. x1, y1, x2 and y2. So we're going to substitute these in. y2 is minus 13, take away 5, and then we've got 4, take away negative 2. Just got to watch out for your negatives here. Minus 13 take away 5 is minus 18. 4 take away negative 2 is the same as 4 plus 2. So I'm going to have minus 18 over 6, which is the same. I'm just going to put this over the side. So the gradient is going to be minus 3. So I've got a gradient of minus 3. Now we just need to choose our values for A and B. Like I say, it doesn't matter which coordinates you use. You could use these ones or these ones. You will get the same answer each time. I will show you this time I'm going to use these ones. I have chosen to use these coordinates because there's not really any value over choosing either. If, for example, this was all positive and then there was negatives here, I would just use the one with positives, because positives are obviously easier to work with, but both have one negative, so I'm just going to choose this one just to show that you can use either. So I am going to substitute all my values in. So I've got y take away negative 13. My gradient is minus 3. And I've got x take 4. Okay, I'm going to tidy this left hand side up. I'm going to have y plus 13 equals minus 3 bracket x minus 4. And then I'm just going to follow through the process again. I'm going to multiply out my brackets. Y plus 13 equals minus 3x. Minus 3 times minus 4 is plus 12. I want to have y equals mx plus c, so I want to get rid of this plus 13, so I'm going to take it away from both sides. I'm going to have y equals minus 3x subtract 1. Okay, for this last slide I thought I'd go through an exam style question with you with regards to straight line. So this is just a general question I took from online. Teams in a quiz answer questions on film and sport. So the film goes along the x-axis and sport goes along the y-axis. This scatter graph shows the scores of some of the teams. So generally it's a positive relationship. The higher you score in film, the higher you score in sport. A line of best fit is drawn and shown as above. Find the equation of this straight line. So, are we given the y-intercept? No. So, we are going to need to utilise the equation y minus b equals m bracket x minus a. Right, so let's have a look. We in this picture are given two pieces of information. We are told that when they get a film score of 9, they get a sports score of 21. So we are given this point right here. This point is 921. And we are given this point here. When they got a score of 15, they got a score of 33. So we can write down the coordinates. 15, 33. So we can now use this information to find the equation of this straight line. So we're not given the gradient, so we need to calculate it. So we're going to be using our gradient formula. Put this over at the side. M equals y2 take away y1 over x2 take away x1. So need to label my points. x1, y1, x2, y2. So my gradient will be 33 subtract 21. That's all over 15 subtract 9. 33 subtract 21 is 12. 15 take away 9 is 6. And 12 divided by 6 is 2. So my gradient is 2. Okay, all I need to do now is I can just choose which values I want to be A and B. I can choose either this coordinate or this coordinate. There is no value in choosing either because they're both positive, so it doesn't really matter which one you choose. I'm just going to choose these ones here to be A and B. I've now got all my information. I'm going to substitute it in. So y minus b, so y minus 21 equals m. M is 2, bracket x minus a, which we have chosen to be 9. I'm going to follow through the process. We're going to multiply out this bracket. So y minus 21 equals 2x minus 18. I want my equation to be in the form y equals mx plus c, so I want to get rid of this minus 21. So I'm going to add 21 to both sides. That will give me an equation y equals 2x plus 3. That's me done part A. Part B asks me to use this equation to estimate the sports score for a team with a film score of 20. Okay, so we need to have a wee think about this. So this is part B. If we have a look here, the film score is represented by our X values. Sports score is represented by our Y values. So use this equation to estimate the sports score. So we want to estimate what Y is going to be. So we want to calculate what Y is. We want to estimate the sports score for a team with a film score of 20. Okay, so based on this graph, we would expect to get a score maybe of around 35, 36-ish. So if we have got a film score of 20, that means that X is going to be 20. I've got my equation, Y equals 2X plus 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute X equals 20 into this equation. So 2x means 2 times x. So when x is 20, it's going to be 2 times 20 plus 3. So we can estimate that if the team got a film score of 20, we could estimate that they would get a sports score of 43. Thank you.